All right, we're going live, and we are live on Facebook. It is Car Con Carne. I used to take my car every week to a different location. I'd meet my guests there. We'd get food. We'd share food. We'd feed each other in the front seat of my car. That can't happen anymore, at least not for probably another month or two. Quarantine Con Carne is what this is right now. I'm James Van Osdell, and Car Con Carne, Quarantine Con Carne, sponsored by C&H Financial Services, which can help you, business owners, upgrade your business to the industry's leading point-of-sale system so you can streamline every aspect of your business for no cost. That's right, no cost. We're going to emerge from this pandemic at some point, and you're going to want that benefit on your side. Visit freeprocessingnow.com or call 855-600 or 600-2437 extension 999 so you, my friend, can start saving money.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Osdell.
My guest tonight on Quarantine Con Carne, he's a troubadour. He's a raconteur. He is a son of Libertyville. He is Ike Reilly, an old dear friend. Hello, Ike Reilly.
Hi, James. How you doing, buddy?
Where are you? This is a pretty compelling man cave you're in. It looks like your wall could tell some stories.
Not really a man cave. I'm in exile at the headquarters of Great Lakes Tug and Barge.
I like the skulls. I like what's that portrait behind you? Who's the woman?
That's my mother.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. My mom, that's her wedding portrait that I found under the stairs of her house in Libertyville, and she hates it. So
how great is that?
I bring it everywhere.
How cool is that?
I'm 93, and she's kicking. I go and exercise her. She comes out on her front porch, and she did jumping jacks last week.
Good for her.
She's good. So
I want to say hi to Doc Julin, who's watching. Also, Jack Morris and Chris. Thank you for watching on Facebook Live. That right there is Ike Reilly. First question is the obvious question. How are you holding up in this time of quarantine and COVID-19?
Fine. I'm fortunate, I'm clean. I have a bathroom to use. I have a supportive family. We've got a place to stay. We're jammed into my somewhat grown-up kids are home. Mm-hmm. So, we're tight, but we're good. I feel terrible for people that aren't as fortunate. My wife works at the hospital up in Libertyville. She's doing well. She works at the front where you come in. If you want to go see her, she'll spray.
And I'm sure that's plenty stressful for her and for you and for the rest of the family.
Her working at the hospital is much more stressful for me. No, I'm kidding. It's stressful for her, yeah. But she's
sure.
And it's sad. There's some sick people up there. I think they have about 60 COVID patients right now. But like I said, you asked me how we're doing. Right? There's people that are really suffering.
Do you cook for the family? Are you handy in the kitchen?
Not really, no. I mean, I'm a strange eating,
Are you a picky eater?
No, I just eat at strange times.
That's the rock and roll. That's.
I don't know. I don't require that much food, to be honest.
Well, you are very lean. You've always been very lean and fit looking.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't seem like someone who'd be comfortable around a pie or a sundae.
The pie, I'll eat a pie.
So speaking of being quarantined with your family, this is, I guess, a classic case of making lemonade out of lemons. Family quarantine hour. Why not press them into service and perform with you online?
That's what we did.
And then you're doing it again.
Yeah, we do it every Saturday now. It's been great. They're like me. They're average at a lot of different things, and so my three boys and my son-in-law, we're all holed up together. My boys had started singing, and they were singing on our new record band. But then we just started putting kind of a variety show together, you know. Each boy sings a song, we sing some songs together, throw a couple covers in. This week we're going to celebrate prom. My youngest boy is a senior in high school. His girlfriend and their family they live right near us, and since prior to the pandemic and the quarantine, apparently my son and his girlfriend have already, anything they could have caught, they might have caught by now.
Right, for sure.
So she has been helping us with the production of our show. It's called the Ike Reilly Family Quarantine Hour. So this week the theme will be prom. We're going to have a little prom for those two because it was actually their prom. So
See, okay, I should tell my son to watch. He's a high school senior who doesn't get a prom this year.
he should watch. In fact, we're going to, I think we'll probably spread the word. You know, I wouldn't say that it's going to be traditional, but they're going to get to dance, and you know, who knows what else will happen.
But they're not going to waste money on a limousine, so that's glass half full.
No money will be wasted. I mean, time will be wasted. Yeah. But
I want to thank Patty for watching, also Jeff and Justin and Greg and Devin and Jessica and Stephanie for all checking in right now, watching on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Facebook.
Yeah, so we're live on Facebook. This will turn into a podcast before I go to bed tonight, if I'm that ambitious. I want to thank Ryan and David for also checking in. Are you reading anything? Are you watching anything? Are you doing the traditional I'm under lockdown binge watching or reading stuff?
You know, I'm not, because we're making a record that's going to be mixed, and we've tracked most of it with the band, and then I had to do a few things. So I'm working on a record. Actually, this is where we work on the record, you asked me. And it is HQ of Great Lakes Tug and Barge. I'm in exile here on the north side of Libertyville. Hold up. We don't live here. It's a friend of mine's joint. And but I do bring my mom's picture. So I'm busy with that, and I'm busy because we have made a commitment to do the show every other Saturday night. So, you know, with our band breaks up a lot, you know, so I spend time breaking up and then reforming the band and then rehearsing. So we're playing a lot of music, and there's a company called Gotham Sound out of New York, and they sent me a bunch of stuff, cameras and microphones and all this technical shit to make our show, you know, work. And it does, you know, it doesn't.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, I'm heartened to know that there's a new album that's dangerously close. I mean, it's only been 2 years since the last one, not even. What was the break between Hard Luck Stories and Born on Fire? You were working on a TV pilot. There's a long period where we were without Ike Reilly music.
I don't really remember, but what period was that?
Between like 2009 and 2014.
Oh yeah, well, one thing, we lost a record, I guess, you know, due to somebody was probably drinking, and the hard drive, you know, the songs on hard drives. And
It happens.
I had a TV show in development with AMC, and I was working on that. And then that took a lot of time and money, and it went away. And I guess it took the steam out of me for a while. So we came back and started making records again. But, you know, I mean, it's really not that long, considering my first record came out when I was 38. So there were like 37 years I didn't do any records before that. So
See, and I thought you were just 25 as of right now. It's that youthful exuberance that you project.
It's a filter. Yeah.
Exactly. You're always using your filters like a true millennial. I want to thank David for watching. Edmund, a lot of people are checking you out. They love you, Ike Reilly. You are beloved in the city and suburbs here.
No,
Mike is watching as well. You know, I've asked a lot of musicians this over the past month plus. This can be a difficult time to be creative. Like when you're sequestered kind of against your will, it's hard to be creative and inspired. And I've heard different opinions from different musicians. Some are like, yeah, now's not my time to create, but it sounds like that's not the issue with you, and that's all you're doing.
I mean, it's what I do, anyway. I mean, the only thing that's changed is I had so many shows canceled. And, what are you going to do?
Right. One of the things I love about the music of Ike Reilly, I love your turns of phrase. I love the stories you tell. And I was thinking about, I was listening to Living in the Wrong Time, and I just love the line, I used to have a tiny bit of dignity. We all did. But do lyrics come as you're telling your stories, or do you build stories around turns of phrase that appear in your head? Or is it a mix of both?
I think I don't come up with a phrase and then say I need to put that in a song. I think I'll be, whether I'm writing something else that's not a song, a diary or a letter, email, or whatever. I might get a concept for a song, but I usually just either I'm playing the guitar and working on a melody, and the songs kind of reveal themselves, and then those turns of phrases I steal from neighbors, and coaches, and teachers, and jam them into some bigger concept. Like Living in the Wrong Time was probably I just built the song around, there are a lot of tough things to live with, living in the wrong place, living with the wrong people, but you can kind of change that, but you can't, you'll go mad if you realize you're actually stuck in the wrong era. So that's kind of the concept of that song.
Your songs deal with people who perhaps make some bad choices in life. And I remember I took a fiction writing course. This was years and years ago, and I suck at writing fiction. But the one takeaway I got from that class is you never want, as you're paying attention to a story, you never want the lead character to have a good time. You never want the lead character to have a good day. And I think about that when I hear Ike Reilly's songs. Like, some people do some unfortunate things or in some unfortunate situations, and that makes them ultimately relatable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what, I mean, you can generalize it. I mean, there are some songs that aren't, that are more impressionistic than linear A to B stories. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too interested. I mean, if you're empathetic to other people's struggles, I think I never really set out to do this, but if you listen to some of the songs, you'll see empathy for people that are smaller.
With the attention you've given to the town of Libertyville, could you in fact run for mayor of Libertyville at some point?
I'm good friends with the current mayor. I probably could. I'd run for it. I'm not going to be cocky enough to say I could win it. But if there was any money in it, I'd already done it, James.
That's true. Suburban mayors don't make a whole lot of bank. That is true.
They don't. And
you're better off playing the bars at that point.
I mean, you're better off selling weed. Usually,
Although
it's not legal. You got to go all the way to Wonderland to the legal dispensary rise.
I will say there are some absolutely bucolic parts of Libertyville. I did some research on Paradise Lane on Zillow. Some really pricey property on Paradise Lane.
Yeah, I guess there is. It's I use the term because it's kind of like, if you're not from around here, you would have the vision of what it looked like. It's really a suburban street. But that song is truthful. What's really cool about that song is everybody that's in that song performs on that song. The two kids in the car accident, Max and Jake, are musicians that sing on it with me. Morello plays guitar on it. And he's, of course, my friend in Hollywood that I reference. And he really does want me to be the mayor of Libertyville so we can
Does he?
I mean, that would be his dream, And then we would get I think he told me he wants to, if we get that, we get a float and we put women in camouflage bikinis.
Yes.
But, Tom can't get everything he wants.
none of us can. Politics in songs. Speaking of Tom, does your attitude about putting politics in songs go back to when Trump stiffed you as a doorman all those years ago?
I've always put politics in songs, and when Trump stiffed me, you know, I don't know if anybody knows that, but I was a doorman at the Park Hyatt for 13 years down on Michigan Avenue. I met a lot of people as a doorman. Nixon, I met President Nixon. I met Clinton before he was a president. Keith Richards, the Dalai Lama.
That's insane.
Phyllis Diller.
By the way, that sounded so hipster. Yeah, I met Clinton before he was president.
I remember calling my dad. I'm like, there were 17 Democratic candidates at the time, and Clinton came and spoke in this little room at the Park Hyatt, and everybody from Chicago was in this little room. All the Dailies, Bobby Rush, everybody. And I had never heard of Bill Clinton. I heard him speak. I remember telling my dad, I think I just saw the next president. He's like, who? I said, the governor of Arkansas. My dad's like, no, Hayes going to be the governor of Arkansas, or going to be the president. And sure enough, he was.
And here we are.
Yeah. But Trump came in. I took him to the presidential suite. He stiffed me, and they accused me of stealing the belt to his first wife's pantsuit. And of course, that caused a lot of, controversy, but I would tell him I didn't steal it. But
thinking back to those years, I mean, you were still a musician back then. I mean, you performed in the 90s. Thinking back to those years, whether it was as a gravedigger or working at the Park Hyatt, could you have imagined where you're at now? Being a musician full-time, being really...
Bankrupt.
What's that?
Bankrupt.
Bankrupt, sure. But, I mean, I think you're in an enviable... there are a lot of local musicians watching and probably listening right now who I think look to you as a guy who kind of figured it out and kind of did things on his own terms. Could you have seen yourself thought of in that light back then?
Yeah, I mean, I could. I knew then that I never thought I'd be, I knew that writing and making music I was going to do, whether I was a doorman or a commercial director or a bartender. It was good. And I'm fortunate to just be able to do that now. And, it hasn't been easy, but it has been easy, I don't really worry about money that much. I've had trouble with it. I've made it. I haven't made it. But I've been able to keep my family together. And I've got, I've had a wife. I have a wife that has been, she knew that I was going to get up and write songs every day till the day I died. I'm fortunate to be able to go around and play them, and people, handful of miscreants and losers come and see me every time. They're not losers. I don't mean they're losers. I mean they have bad taste. But in every town, there's enough that'll come and listen. And the thing that I am surprised and happy about is that I've been able to keep the same musicians, and for the most part, there's nobody that's left on bad terms, and everybody I play with has been with me a long time. We're a devastating band, and in fact, I was just looking at footage of us from a couple months ago for a film, and that's the most gratifying thing. It isn't so much you sell a few records, you do a few shows, but to meet with these guys that have a shared knowledge of 200 things that came out of your head and then can perform them in a totally original, I'd say urgent and vital and nimble fashion it's pretty amazing to me. I've been playing with Phil since he was just out of high school, and he's been, and he's done a lot of stuff. He's in the Secret Machines and Tripping Daisy, Polyphonic Spree, and he and I are, best friends. And so
by the way, Tripping Daisy, that I think it was the last album they did, Jesus Hits Like the Atom Bomb. No one connected with that at all. It's fucking awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know who connects. You're going to talk to a guy. You're talking to a guy that thinks nobody connects with this shit. So, but so that's the thing. I still have romantic and visions of being in a band. Like when we get on the bus and take off, I couldn't be happier. And then,
that's it.
Yeah. So to answer your question, did I think I'd have? I was 38 and had no records out, and now I've got, I'd say I think this might be our 10th fully length record. So that's pretty cool.
That's very cool, and congratulations.
And truthfully, I will be making records with my kids. I mean, certainly my band will be playing the music, but my kids are writing and they can sing and play, and they have uninhibited kind of frivolity, and so that's. I guess I didn't really think that would happen. I thought, Jesus, these guys are going to drag me down.
So, and you're playing with them Saturday night. It is the Family Quarantine Hour. Is that straight through Facebook that people can watch that?
Facebook. It's on our Ike Reilly page. It's at 8:00 Central Standard Time. I guess it's peculiar. It's what's the word? It's just strange and I guess surprising. I probably played to more people than I ever have on these live streams. People are connecting to it. I can only think, because it's a family thing. It gives people, what I've read on Facebook, it gives people a sense of normalcy. And,
yep.
And we're not super slick. We've got some songs together. And, most of my stuff with a couple covers. And so I think the voyeuristic nature of, my wife said her favorite part was actually seeing me get irritated. And, so, it's fun. I mean, it's intimate. We're in this exact room. So it's been gratifying to see people say that it's been a relief for them, to watch. And, I'm always, I discount sometimes what I do and what all entertainers do. There's far more important jobs, But when you see, somebody say, that really made our night or made our week or made us forget, I guess the less cynical me is heartened by that and grateful, that people sit and watch us for an hour.
I think it's super cool. All right, so that's Saturday night. New albums being worked on while under quarantine. And you are Ike Reilly. I'm so glad to reconnect, although over the vastness of the web, we can't man-hug or anything. But thank you for doing this, Ike.
James, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for your enthusiasm for music and music in Chicago for a couple decades, right?
It's been a bit.
Looking good, my man.
You too. All right, I'm going to kill the Facebook Live feed. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.